What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kenzo for Life here, and today we're going to be talking about Roblox scandals exposed. A 10-year-old girl gets groomed by a predator on her favorite game who talks her into sending explicit photos for virtual currency. A teenager in Indonesia spends grueling hours developing a game but only earns pennies on the dollar for his work. And a multi-billion-dollar corporation stands accused by the state of Louisiana of putting profits before child safety, creating an environment where predators can thrive. This isn't some dark movie script. This is the reality of Roblox, one of the most popular games on the planet. With nearly 70 million people playing every single day, Roblox has built an empire on games made by its users in a bustling virtual economy. But just beneath the surface of colorful blocks and smiling avatars, a deeply disturbing pattern of controversy is emerging. From failing to protect its younger players to allegedly exploiting its most creative ones, Roblox is now facing a firestorm of shocking lawsuits that threaten its entire reputation. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the disturbing truth they'd hoped you'd never see. At the heart of Roblox's trouble is a truly heartbreaking accusation that it has failed to protect the millions of children who make up its core user base. About 40% of its players are under 13, and for years, parents were told it was a safe digital playground. But a tidal wave of lawsuits tells a very different and very scary story. In August 2025, Louisiana Attorney General Liz Muriel filed a bombshell lawsuit against Roblox, accusing the company of knowingly enabled and facilitated the systematic sexual exploitation and abuse of children. The suit alleges that Roblox prioritized growth and profits over safety, creating what Muriel bluntly called open season for sex predators on this app. The state wants to stop Roblox from claiming its safety features are adequate, and the Attorney General even said she thinks the platform should be shut down completely. And this isn't just a one-off. Law firms are representing a growing number of families in states like California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. The stories are terrifyingly similar. A 10-year-old in Michigan was sexually exploited by a predator pretending to be a kid on the platform. A North Carolina family is suing after their daughter was coerced into sending explicit photos for Robux, the game's currency. Lawsuits claim predators use Robux to bribe and extort children, and since Roblox takes a cut of every Robux transaction, the lawsuits argue the company is indirectly profiting from these horrific crimes. In many cases, predators use Roblox to build trust before moving the conversation to less moderated platforms like Discord, which is now being named as a co-defendant in some of these lawsuits. The legal complaints argue Roblox is negligently designed, missing basic safety features like mandatory age verification that would stop adults from so easily posing as kids. While Roblox claims it has thousands of moderators and uses AI to police the platform, court filings say it's not nearly enough. Critics point to the existence of so-called condo games, where players engage in virtual sexual roleplay as proof that moderation is failing. Roblox maintains that the claim it would intentionally put users at risk is categorically untrue, and that it's always working to improve safety. But for the families who say their children have suffered devastating emotional trauma, those promises ring hollow. They argue Roblox engaged in false advertising by marketing itself as safe, all while knowing the dangers lurking on its platform. But the problems don't stop with the player safety. The very creators who build the 40 million games on the platform, many of them kids and teens themselves, are also at the center of a huge controversy over exploitation. Roblox didn't build its own games, young developers did. And what investigations have revealed is a system that many compare to an old-timey carnival, paying its workers in a currency that's incredibly hard to exchange for real money. Here's how it works. Developers get paid in Robux, but for every dollar Roblox makes from their game, a developer only earns about 29 cents. That's a massive cut compared to platforms like Steam or the Apple App Store. But it gets worse. To cash out their Robux for real money, developers need to save up at least 30,000 Robux, which gets them about $105. Before a recent change, that threshold was a staggering 100,000 Robux, which would only net the developer about $350. Critics say this system is deliberately exploitative. The high cash-out minimum encourages smaller developers, again, many of whom are kids, to just spend their earnings back inside the game. And when that happens, Roblox keeps all the money. It's a system that's been compared to company script, where old mining companies paid workers in a private currency they could only spend at the company's store, trapping them. When Roblox executives have been confronted with these accusations, they've been dismissive. One head at Roblox Studio actually called the opportunity a gift. In an interview, he pushes back on the idea of exploitation, saying, "I can be like 15 years old in Indonesia, living in a slum, and then now with just a laptop, I can create something, make money, and then sustain my life." He claimed young developers he'd spoken to didn't feel exploited. They felt it was the biggest gift because they could retire on the money they made. But that rosy picture ignores the reality for almost every creator. The system is set up to benefit a tiny handful of top developers, while countless others work long hours for pennies. It's a business model built on the passion and labor of a young, hopeful, and often naive workforce that might not fully grasp the deal they're getting. Look, the only reason these stories are coming out is because people are demanding answers. If you believe this deserves more attention, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Spreading the word is the first step toward real change. And if all that wasn't enough, there's the gambling. Roblox is also getting hit with class action lawsuits over claims it knowingly allows third-party gambling websites to operate using its currency, basically turning the platform onto a gateway casino for kids. According to the lawsuits, children can take their Robux, often bought with their parents' money, to offshore gambling sites, link their Roblox wallet, and bet on casino games. When the gambling sites win, they convert the Robux back into cash. And Roblox allegedly takes a 30% transaction fee in the process. In 2024, a federal judge allowed negligence claims to move forward in a class action suit, stating that Roblox had a duty to protect its users and that its deliberate design decisions may have created a risk of harm to minors. This pattern of alleged negligence is the thread that ties all these scandals together. Another firestorm erupted when Roblox took action against vigilante users who are trying to expose predators on the platform themselves. The company sent a cease and desist letter to a popular YouTuber named Schlep, who was known for his sting operations, and banned his accounts, claiming his actions created an unsafe environment. The move was met with a massive backlash. It even prompted a U.S. representative to start a petition urging Roblox to do more to protect kids. To many, it looked like Roblox cared more about silencing its critics than fixing the problem. Lawsuits now explicitly claim that Roblox engaged in fraudulent concealment and deceptive marketing. They sold the world on a stage created for utopia for kids, but plaintiffs argue the company knew that wasn't the whole story. So when you step back and look at all this together, the picture gets pretty dark. This isn't just one or two isolated incidents. The allegations paint a portrait of a corporate culture that has, at multiple turns, allegedly put growth and profit ahead of the safety and fair treatment of its community. From the vulnerable children who were supposed to be protected, to the young developers who create all the value, to the parents who were told it was safe, the lawsuits claim Roblox has broken its trust with all of them. The argument being made in courtrooms across the country is that these aren't just unfortunate side effects of a huge platform. They're the predictable results of a system designed with inadequate safeguards and exploitative mechanics at its very core. So where does this leave Roblox? The company that became a household name is now facing a legal and moral reckoning. The sheer number of lawsuits from state attorney general, devastated families, and exploited developers can't be brushed aside anymore. They represent a fundamental challenge to the way Roblox does business. The platform has brought creativity and joy to millions, but the evidence of its dark side is undeniable and growing. As these cases move through the courts, the company will have to answer for the human cost of its incredible success. The future of Roblox might just depend on whether it can finally prove that it values its users more than its bottom line. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think is the biggest issue facing Roblox, and what should be done about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, you guys, stay frosty.